if I had the quadratic y equals 4 times x minus 1 squared plus 2, where would that quadratic be? Well, this is going to move me right 1, and this is going to move up 2, and then does this parabola open up or down? Up. And is it a tall parabola, a normal parabola, or a short parabola? It's tall. It's 4 times taller. So over 1, up 4, over 1, up 4. Okay, does everybody understand that? And then just for review, where is the axis of symmetry? It's going to run right down the middle of the parabola, and it hits the x-axis at 1, so it's x equals 1. Okay, where is the vertex? 1, 2, so 1 on the x and 2 on the y. What is the domain? All real numbers. And then what is the range? The range is from y equals 2 up. So down below 2, there is no graph. And we always start with the lowest number and then the highest, and then list the highest number. So the lowest one is 2, all the way up to infinity. 2 to infinity. Okay. Did it ask any more questions? Vertex, axis of symmetry. Okay. What about this graph? How would you describe the movement? Left 2, up 1, upside down, and 1/3 is tall. So if it asks you to describe the movement in words, it would be left 2, up 1, upside down, and 1/3 is tall. So if I draw that, left 2, up 1, and it's upside down, how do I graph 1/3 as tall? Over 1, down 1/3. So over 1, down 1/3, over 1, down 1/3. And you can also graph 3 over 3, down 3, over 3, or sorry, 1, 2, 3, down 3. And then just connect those dots. So this parabola is short. Okay? Everybody understand that? Okay. What if I had this equation? Well, let's actually, I think it usually calls it like f of x. So I have the function f of x, and that graph is right 4, up 5, and twice as tall. Well, if g of x is f of x plus 2, what is the equation for g? Well, this graph is left 4, 2 times as tall, and up 5. Everybody understand that? And then what happens in this graph? Or sorry, that's right 4. I did that wrong. This is right 4. Left 2. So g of x looks just like f of x, but wherever f of x landed, we're going to go to the left 2. So what would the equation for g of x be? It would be 2 times x minus 2 squared plus 5. Does that make sense? So we have f of x, and maybe if I graph it, it will help. So f of x is right 4, up 5, and then twice as tall. So it looks like that. This is telling me to move this 1, 2 to the left. And what is the equation of that? Well, that equation is now right 2, up 5, and twice as tall. Was that one thing that confused you guys yesterday? Okay, let's do another one. If f of x is 3 times x plus 1 squared minus 4, and g of x was simply 2 times f of x. All I need to do is multiply everything by 2. So that gets multiplied by 2, and that gets multiplied by 2. Do I put a 2 inside the x plus 1? No. So this gets a 2, and this gets a 2. So g of x would be 6 times x plus 1 squared minus 8. Does that make sense? Okay. If f of x is 1/3 times x plus 1 squared minus 4, and g of x is f of x plus 3, what do I do? Change the -4 to a -1. So this graph is left 1, 1/3 as tall, and down 4. And this graph is up 3. So I combine the up 3 and the down 4, and and I end up with 1/3 times x plus 1 squared minus 1. We good there? Okay. Compare the graphs. Oh, shoot. I crossed off some okay, well, I didn't realize that's how they had written it. So, on both sides, you have practice A and practice B. Don't do 1 through 5 on both sides, and don't do 17 through 19 on both sides. I didn't realize that they started over, so I crossed off some of them, but I crossed off 1 through 5 on the first page and 17 through 19 on the last page. But just don't do 1 through 5 or 17 through 19 on either page. Okay? All right, get to work.